Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to episode 202 of the On Air Advocate. Where at the On Air Advocate, we look to provide education, support, and empowerment for all of those with different abilities, mental and medical illnesses, and their caregivers. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Tammy Flynn, and I am the host and producer of the On Air Advocate, and I am super excited if you are joining us here today, this afternoon, or whether you're catching this on the replay. Now, as always, if you think any of the content that we are talking about today could be relevant, helpful for anyone in your network or your circle, please hit the share button on whatever social media platform you're watching this and share the love with others. Well, as you guys know, we have been in a month-long series where we have been focusing in on mental health awareness. And I am so excited to have here with us today, Abbie Miller. She is a professional photographer as well as the founder of the Good Side Project. Welcome, Abbie.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, thank you for being here. And I know that as we were hooking up, we're like, okay, things are a little pixelated, but you know what? It's just showtime. We need to.
That's right. We're winging it.
Right. Because really the message is really the same, whether we're pixelated or we're not at the moment. The message is the same, is that people are not alone. We are not alone. And mental health and mental wellness is so important. And so I would love for you to tell the audience just a little bit about your background, and then we'll dive into this Good Side Project.
All right. Well, I am in the Milwaukee area. I am a mom of two, a wife of one, thank goodness. That's not in Utah. And I have been running my photography business for 8.5 years. And I love it. I love making people happy. And then that's where the Good Side Project comes in.
So you've been doing the photos for 8 years, and what kind of sparked or ignited the Good Side Project coming out of that photography business?
So my specialties with the stories framed photography aspect is seniors, families, and I do headshots as well. And the thing that happens, no matter who it is, no matter when, is I'll have someone come in, let's just say it's for a headshot, and they come in and they're nervous and they're anxious and they are not looking forward to being photographed. I mean, I get it. I'm the same way. So, and let me just say, when I had my headshots done, I was a hot mess. So I get them to calm down and relax, and then when they're done, they're so happy, and they can see that they're beautiful or handsome or worthy of being looked at, sometimes even just that little bit. And this is what I love about my job. So little by little, I've been talking to parents and I've been talking to families, and people have been coming out of the woodwork saying, like, oh, my kid has anxiety and my kid has depression. And talking to them, you would never know it. Right. And then the fact that I'm helping them have better self-esteem, it was like a puzzle piece that was right in the middle. Like, these kids or adults or anyone are having these mental struggles, and then I'm photographing them and showing them that they're worthy and they're something. And it clicked. I needed something as like a little bit of a project, just a personal project. And this was born. And I wanted to share what, based on who wants to do it, of course, but share their personal experience with mental health, whether it's theirs or someone else's, that they've been coping with, and start a real conversation. So it's not hidden behind closed doors anymore.
Right. And I have seen some of the projects that you've done and some of the stories. And so how does that connection work? When in meeting people, do you look for those that have already reached out that want to share their story of, mental health or their mental health journey?
Well, the way I start, and see, here's the thing. When you start anything, you have no idea about the response you're going to get. So when I started it by sharing my inspiration and what I wanted to do with clients that I already had, with friends, with family. And I said, if anyone is interested in sharing their story, you're going to be the starting point. And the response was overwhelming. I could not believe the number of people who wanted to share and expose themselves, really, but like be able to help other people in the process. And the things I've been seeing are just amazing. And then from there, as I'm sharing, I'm getting more and more response and people wanting to share their stories as well. So it's very, really organic the way that it's happening, because I'm not like going out searching for anyone. They need to come to me. This has to be something that they are ready for, because it is shared everywhere. But if they are, they know that they're in a good place, they're safe, and they could be truly helping even just one other person by sharing their story. Yeah.
By transparently sharing, I mean, so many of us gather so much from other people's journeys that they have traveled. And also, I mean, I think it gives, especially when we talk about mental wellness, knowing that you're not alone. I think so much stigma around everything, that so much of the time people keep things in and they think, oh, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to share that. I must be the only one. And the more you put it out there and the more you put faith, you know what I'm saying, to a feeling, as you have done, because your pictures are very powerful, you know, that you've taken for your stories. And I mean, you're showing this is real life. These are, you know, real people. And I think when people can attach themselves to that, they realize that they're not the only one out there. And I love that. And it hopefully, I'm thinking this year, how has, you know, COVID and all of that affected me? I don't think we could talk, there'd be any more time that is more important to be talking about mental health and mental wellness than right now. How has that affected things for the Good Side Project? You know, right now, I'm assuming things have been a little bit on hold.
Yeah, it really has. I was gaining momentum with sharing projects, with getting feedback, and then this happened. And I actually had several sessions on the calendar with people that we just had to, whether it was the location got closed. There was one we were going to go to the library and they closed the library. Or it just wasn't, I mean, obviously we were all shut down. Well, not obviously, every state is different, but in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin, we were shut down. So I mean, I wasn't shooting anything. And we just kind of said, let's hold off. So in April, I didn't have anything to share. So I just reshared. So if you go back in my feed, I reshared in April all of the posts from the entire year. And then in May, I felt like I was kind of at a loss of what to really do. But I'm getting back into it now that it's safer. And really, I'm going to be, just as I am with a paying client, but more so because of the mental health issue, I want to really be careful that anyone who I contact or who contacts me, that they feel safe, both mentally and physically. Because it's a mess and our emotions are all over the place. And I totally recognize that.
Right. But I think it is going to be so wonderful and so important that as our new normal keeps developing, because it is going to be a new normal, that we have people that are there to share their stories, you know, and connect that, to hear how they're kind of navigating and traveling this journey. And especially if in your home before all of this happened, before COVID happened, if you had, you know, individuals in your house already dealing with mental health, you know, conditions and whatnot, and there's many struggles. And so I know in our household, it has been a huge struggle, you know, during this time. It has just added a layer. So I think how folks are navigating through that, I think, is super important. And you being able to, you know, to share that, Abbie, not only in written form, but in picture form.
Yep. And I welcome, and I haven't like really verbalized this yet to my audience, but I really do welcome any stories about how COVID really made you struggle harder or stronger. I mean,
Right.
I have both stories, both sides of the story. I know some people who going out and about is their anxiety is heightened, but this time being just staying at home and shelter in place,
Mhm.
they felt safer.
Yes, yes. I completely understand that. So right now, at this present moment, as we're kind of bridging into June, if someone's listening to this, if they check out your page, because you need to go to our page and you need to see these awesome stories, that people have been willing to share with us. And they want to get involved in any way. What is that process of how they connect with you if they're saying, hey, I want to share my story?
So right on my website, there is a link. It's thegootsideproject.com. And there's a participate page. And they can fill out some basic information there. And from there, I will contact them and they can go into a deeper dive, and it's written. And they don't have to be a quote unquote writer, because if they're not, then I will help them. But at least if I get their story out, that helps me not only know their story, but how I'm going to tell it visually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty simple and pretty non-intrusive. I mean, I always try to make things as easy as possible. Let's not overcomplicate this. So yeah, that's really it. And they can call me if they want, but I like to talk. But yeah, everything is right online. And I usually try to share a link to that on occasion. So if someone just happens to be following on Instagram or Facebook, the link should be right there to participate.
Okay, and we will definitely, after this, we'll drop the link below and drop the link in all the contents and whatnot so that people can find you. Now, I know right now you are in the state of Wisconsin.
Yes.
You're doing this project from, in the state and people that are here locally. But do you ever see, like, as we look out onto the, horizon and see that, one day in hopes that this Good Side project, that you'll be able to gather stories from all over the United States?
Actually, funny that you should ask that. Yes, I already have requests to go to Florida, Colorado, Canada. And so because this is something that I'm just doing kind of on the side, like a side personal project, I mean, if I were to get any sort of sponsor that would allow me to travel, I am all over it. I would love to go visit people and photograph them and tell their story.
Yes, that will be phenomenal. So I can't wait to see how the Good Side Project grows and gathers so that we can hear stories from everywhere, from everyone all over. And as we're kind of wrapping this up and in mental health, our mental wellness, mental health awareness month, would there be anything that you think is super important that you would like to share with the audience before we wrap up?
I mean, honestly, the biggest thing that is repeated with everyone that I have talked to is that everyone feels so alone and so isolated, and they're not. You just start a conversation and you will learn that. I mean, that's why I'm doing this, because people have said to me, I feel like I'm so alone and I'm the only one going through this. And you're not. You are so not. Reach out to anyone and you'll find that you're not alone.
So true, Abbie. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy afternoon to share the Good Side Project with us and all you are doing for our community here in our state here in Wisconsin. And to learn more about the Good Side Project, they can go, is it the storyframe.com or is it no, it's a goodsideproject.com. They can go right there, right?
Yep.
So we are going to drop the Good Side Project .com below so you guys can hop over there. Also check out the Facebook page. You said that has all the recent stories, correct?
Yes, it does.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Abbie.
Thank you.
I will be calling you because remember my goal for 2020 was to get a headshot.
Okay. Thank you.
That before. So with that, thank you all for tuning in today. If you want to know more about the On Air Advocate, you can head on over to onairadvocate.com and you can find all of our resources right there. If you are viewing this right now on Facebook and you'd like to become part of our private community, head up to the top of this Facebook page, hit the blue button, and that will let you in. So with that, everybody have a fabulous Thursday. Thank you so much again, Abbie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.